Okay. Yeah, so glad to reconnect with you too after, well, this is fifth month post publishing of our episode. Actually, we published in April, so 4 months really. And thinking back, it's still a wonderful journey. I was very grateful to be able to work with you two. You are amazing physio students. So just start us off, like tell whoever's listening to this what the process was like.
Yeah, I can start us off. I think the process was a really interesting start to finish. It was unlike anything that I've ever gone through before, and it was quite a good learning experience. From just starting off, we were very open to choose the topics we wanted to choose, who we wanted to interview, but also what we wanted to talk about with them. And early on, Ryan and I had similar interests and similar alignment, so we moved forward in the topic that we wanted. Got in contact with someone who was a professional in the field, and then we're able to go through kind of that editing process together and produce, the podcast that was released in April. And that whole process was just so valuable. I mean, each step holds its own value in a specific way, and we will probably get into that. But I think the whole thing, I learned a lot about producing a podcast, but even more, I learned a lot about our topic and like opioids, chronic pain models, those kinds of things too. So that was really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think for me, I was very lucky to be working with such a good team who is very supportive in some of the ideas that, I felt comfortable putting out ideas, and I also really liked hearing, the team's ideas. I think one of the best parts probably was just kind of doing a little research about the person, Dr. Mayes, and because she's such a accomplished clinician, and she has so many so much literature out there. Due to the process of doing research to prep for the interview, I ended up learning a lot myself, and I felt like a lot of those things that I learned were very applicable to like our clinical practice and the things that we were learning in physio school. So I think that was one of the coolest parts. And then like additionally, like I think I've always had an interest in like podcasts and like listening to podcasts. So being actually involved in the process, that was also really cool as well.
Yeah. From my perspective, I've done so many episodes and I still really like doing pain casts. Primarily, one of the biggest reasons is that knowledge side of things because each episode is like a research project. I read so much and learn a lot and get to talk to the person to further my understanding on a topic. But on your end, this is your first time doing this. In addition to that knowledge side of things, what did you appreciate or learned or like about the process?
I think for me, I actually enjoyed a lot of the interview process, like actually conducting the interview. Although like because it was my first like Paincast podcast, it's a little bit nerve-wracking a little bit because you end up stuttering and stumbling over your words a little bit. But I think the idea of having an interview and just exchanging ideas, I think is very, very enjoyable. Like being able to talk about something that you're both passionate in and exchange knowledge that way was definitely one of the highlights of the whole process. And then editing, like it might be a little tedious, but in a way it was kind of fun as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely second both of those statements. Just the interview itself is such a cool opportunity. Like no joke, I'm sitting there and Dr. Bayless is sitting in front of us, and I'm just kind of awestruck that I have the opportunity to talk to someone who is um, not only like such a wealth of knowledge in this field, but also is kind of like a superstar in my brain, at least. So to sit there and have her be able to divulge and dig into her brain with her and her thoughts on this topic was like such a, um, I don't know, I just feel like it was such a unique experience that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So I'm really thankful for that. And then along with that, one thing that I am really, really thankful for in this whole process is that we produced a tangible product. So now it's like we did this interview, we did the podcast, it's now produced, but now we can share that. So forever I kind of have this podcast to refer back to. And even the other day I had someone ask me if I had a model of chronic pain management that I thought worked well. And I said, like I haven't seen it in person, but I, participated in this podcast, and you can go listen to it. And it has this like really cool information that you can kind of maybe pull some ideas or see what, this expert in the field has to say. And I just feel really proud to have that tangible piece that you can kind of touch and hold and listen to and refer back to time and time again.
Mm-hmm. So thinking back this whole year of being a part of the student committee, doing Paincast, but also, as a part of the bigger team, what does this whole thing mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, being a part of it really was um, a very clear way to get my foot in the door of the world of pain in a very, it's a weird thing to say, but it's true. Like getting to be around people that are like-minded, that care about pain and the way that we manage it, and then actively working towards solutions or conversations about it, or just overall steps forward. And I really appreciated that. And I got to meet a lot of people who cared about similar topics as I did. I got to meet patient partners who had lived experiences that I got to hear their stories and learn from that. And that was really touching. I got to work with other members within the pain science division outside of even the student committee. And that was a really cool experience. So it was just all of these connections of people who have similar passions and care about similar things that I do in the field of physio. And I think that that for me was so valuable in moving forward in my own practice eventually. Mhm.
For me, I think the most like the core of my experience with Paincast and Pain Science Division is most definitely just learning, sharing, and exchanging knowledge and ideas of a topic that we're all passionate about, and being able to do that with such committed and like-minded individuals, I feel like not only um, helped me learn more, but also allowed me to see things that I wouldn't have thought of before, especially with our Paincast episode. I think it ended up reaching into topics or territories that we never initially thought about touching on originally. But through this process, we were able to gain insights into something that we wouldn't have looked into at all before. So I think being able to do that is one of the most um, like vital things of this whole experience.
Okay, so last question here. What do you want students considering this experience to know?
It's a good question. Um, I think what I would have liked to know as a student coming into it would be that one, it's a lot of work. You have to be ready to come and show up and put the effort in. But two, it's worth all the work that you're going to put in. So I think, if you are passionate about pain and you are passionate about finding, being a part of this community and helping those who have pain, whether it's acute or chronic, I would say this is such a cool opportunity to be a part of. And I would say, take that step, but take it with the knowledge that like you are here to commit and you are here to put the hours in to produce these things. A saying that I love is that hard work makes for good luck. And so you put the hard work into this and that, good luck, which is really just the product of your work, is all of these opportunities that, the PSD has. So I would highly recommend it to someone, but I would just also say be willing to put in that effort as well.
No, I definitely agree with everything that Sophie said. And something I would also like to add upon that is um, going into this, um, I think I would have liked to known that, at moments you might feel lost and you might feel like you don't really know what you're doing with the pain cast. However, you have a really, really supportive team of people behind you who are willing to help you out, answer questions, and just be the pillar of support that you need to grow and learn as a physio student or just as a clinician in general.
Amazing. The one phrase that what you talked about remind me of is the more you give, the more you take. And that holds very true in our committee. Well, thank you for your candid sharing and all the best to your future physio endeavors.
Thank you so much, Tiffany.